I paid $200 for this kiosk version of the PlayStation. Today, I'm gonna see if I can figure out what these wires are hanging out of it, clean it up a little bit, and then see if we can fix it. So this is the wire I was talking about. It's a random wire just sticking out from behind the case there. The rest of these controls look pretty normal. So the other thing that's interesting is this is a refurbished PlayStation. So it's refurbished, but also it's the kiosk version. I'm not sure what that's about. Let's take a look at the disk drive. All right, and that, man, it doesn't look too bad. Definitely dirty, but we can clean that up. On the front label here, it says this Sony control deck will not work if separated from display. It's definitely separated from the display, and it says this display resets periodically. So I'm wondering if this has something to do with that. I'm not really sure, but just a couple screws on the bottom and we can get it open and see what's going on here. I really wish I had a kiosk to put this in. If you know of one, especially one that's broken or needs work or something, be sure to let me know in the comments, because it's difficult for me having this cool kiosk version, but I don't have a kiosk to put it in. It would be fun to do another kiosk repair video. So if you know of one that's broken at any point, be sure to leave me a comment in the comment section, and maybe I can find one from all of my viewers. All right, with those 5 screws out, this should just come off. Okay, no cables holding it anywhere, good. Okay, and this just goes to under the power supply. So I wonder if this would just cut the power supply periodically, or cut power periodically, and that's what caused it to reset. This board looks a little dirty, not too bad though. I do want to take it apart and get down to the board so we can clean that up. Just give this whole thing a cleaning, and then we can also inspect it and see if there's any other problems. So far, this is the only thing that's different that I've seen from just a regular PlayStation. So we need to see if there's any mods on the board that will cause any issues with it turning on. Okay, and we've got the controller ports here. Those look good. The board down here definitely looks good. And now we can remove the laser, and we'll give that a cleaning. It looks pretty good right now, but we'll clean it up here in a little bit. Now we got some screws holding this metal plate on, and then that should give us a view of the board. And then I do want to take this power supply out too and just have a look at that. And with those screws out, this can come up. Looks good. Okay, the board actually from here looks pretty good, and I don't see anything that looks customized or really different from just a regular board and not the kiosk version. Let's get these screws out so we can take the whole board out and have a look at it. Okay, and that should be the last screw. And here we go. Let's see the bottom. Definitely have some brown flux residue, but that's no issue. Got a bunch more up here. So this board actually looks pretty good. I don't really see any issues with it. So we'll clean that up here in a minute. Take this bottom plate out, clean it up, and clean up the shell. Now we just have a couple screws holding the power supply in. Then we can see where these wires connect. And can we get it up now? Yep. There we go. And they connect right there and right there. So this is on one side, the negative side, the ground side of a capacitor right here. And then this is connected right to this pin on this connector right here. This, basically the purple wire right there. Given that this is connected to the purple wire, that tells me that this connector does exactly what I thought it did, because the purple wire is basically the reset wire. So this is connected somehow to something that is switching this and basically resetting. It's pretty much like pressing the reset button on the console, and that's what resets it. Now it's not connected to anything, so it doesn't matter that it's here. It doesn't do anything, and we can just leave this here because it's not going to reset anything. This is basically somehow connected to an external switch that will reset it. I'm guessing the kiosk version of this had a display that this connected into somehow, and it had some sort of board on it that would automatically reset the console. But without that connected, we don't have to worry about this. This should work just fine as is, assuming there's nothing on the motherboard that will cause it to reset or something like that. And I don't think there is. This looks to me like it's just like a regular PlayStation board. But you tell me in the comments if you see anything different. I think I also will keep this connected. I could just desolder it and then it would look just like a regular console. But I would rather have this intact, so then if I ever do get a kiosk that I can put this into, then everything is intact and I can just plug this right in. Now that we've got that figured out, let's give this bottom shell a good cleaning, and we got to remove these as well. So I'm going to start there, get these off, remove the glue, and give this a bit of a cleaning. I get why people did this, but it's just so ugly. Oh man, these things are really stuck on there too. Now what I'm doing is I'm just taking some isopropyl alcohol and I am soaking all of this adhesive in the isopropyl alcohol, and that's going to make it soften and make it really flexible, and it'll come off really easy. Now, a lot of people suggest using Goo Gone for this, and that can certainly work. The reason I don't is because often Goo Gone will leave an oily residue, and then that's just another residue that I have to remove. So that's where I prefer to use isopropyl alcohol, and you can see how the adhesive just kind of loosens up and comes right off. I will have to put multiple layers of isopropyl alcohol on the glue, but it will lift and then it'll be nice and clean once I get it fully removed. Okay, and how do we look? Better than new, right? Now that that part's done, let's flip it over. I'll just clean out the inside, and then we'll get the metal plate in, the board in, and the power supply. And with this cleaned, we can install the metal plate. Metal plate looks dirty, it's not dirty. Now I'll give the board a bit of a cleaning. Nothing too crazy, it's not super dirty. Okay, there we go. Looks good. Now, like I said, I am going to keep this power supply the same with this connector included on it, just like this. I'm not going to remove it or anything. Now, I'm hoping this thing will just work when I turn it on, but I'm not sure because the top cover said that it will not work without it connected to the display, so to the like retail display or the kiosk display. So I'm not really sure about this, but hopefully it's gonna work. Okay, now I'll install the screws on the metal plate, and then we'll get the disk drive installed. Now the laser assembly, we just need to line up the holes to these pegs, just like that. Then we'll connect the ribbon. Now we'll connect the power cable for the laser. There we go. Now I do want to clean this laser off, so we'll just give it a good clean. I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol and a cotton bud. Just gently press on it. I'm going to use a little bit of air. Now it's all clean. Hopefully that's going to work for us once we get this thing all together. Now the front connectors, just plug them in like that, and there we go. Now the metal plate. Now before we install the top cover, we need to do a little bit of cleaning on it. It's got some pretty nasty gunk over here. So we got to get all of that off, make this thing look good again. Unfortunately, it is pretty yellowed. I'm not going to be doing any retrobrite on it or anything because I don't want it to damage the sticker. I don't know that it would, but I don't want to take that chance. The sticker is what makes it so special. And the sticker itself is actually in really nice condition. So we're just going to leave that part as is. And we're going to leave it yellowed. I Don't like leaving it yellowed, but I think in this case that's the right decision. This shell might be a bit yellowed, but it's the best looking yellowed shell around. And now we can install it onto the bottom case. Gotta make sure this is coming out. Yep, that's right where it needs to be. All right, let's get some screws in it, and then we can plug it in and give it a test. And now that we've refurbished this PlayStation, let's turn it over, plug it in, and see if it works like this or if we need to do anything else. It does worry me a little bit that it says it will not work if separated from display, but I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, so let's get it plugged in and see. Okay, power cable going in. Power, AV cable, next. Okay, does it power on? Yes, it does. Let's put a disc in. And we're gonna try Spyro. Will it spin up? Yeah, sounds like it's spinning up. Okay, let's see if we get a display on the TV. Okay, over to AV. Let's see what happens. Ah, look at that. Heck yeah. An evil plot unfolds. A powerful villain emerges. And here we are. Spyro works just fine. So our Kiosk PlayStation actually works just fine. I thought there was gonna be a lot more we'd have to do to this, so I'm super excited that it all works. Now I just need to find the kiosk that I can put this into. If you like this type of video, I bought a kiosk for the original Game Boy, and when I got that one, it didn't work at all. I'll put a link for that video up on your screen now so you can come hang out with me over there and see if I could get it working. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you have a good one.